CentralFloridaPolitics.com, where Central Florida turns for political news.
That, and it was, we can agree to disagree, but we're not going to be disagreeable. And I have a little different perspective in that I'm almost at 4 decades in the city of Lakeland. I came here in February of 1970, so I have the perspective of the system we had till about, I think, 1984, where each year the city commissioners would select a person to serve as mayor for the following year. And the system was fine, except you didn't have in that office continuity. You had someone who had an agenda possibly, and they served for that year, and they did by and large a good job. And I don't know that George Burke's here today, but he's a member of this club, and George served under that system. And then we had a move to go to an elected mayor, and I believe it was 1984 when that happened. And so Buddy has been able over the years, because of that change that was made, he's been able to keep that continuity and promote the types of programs and lead the city commission in a way that's been very stable, and I think not only stable for the elected officials, but stable for the city administration and stable for the people of Lakeland. When Buddy first announced that he was going to run, we'd had some economic downturns at that time. We'd had some freezes that destroyed a lot of citrus. We had a decline in the phosphate industry. Tourism was suffering, and he had one plank in his platform, and that was economic development. And he also was concerned about quality of life issues, including parks and recreation and those kinds of things. But I recall it, economic development, and that was first and foremost in his mind, and it wasn't that this is me, it was we are going to work together to succeed in improving economic development. Unfortunately, after that time, the Lakeland Economic Development Council was formed. Buddy has been an integral part of that since day one. And you know, a lot of you don't know, but there are folks looking for sites, substantial employers looking for sites all over the country. And they're out there every day, and they don't want anybody to know it. And Buddy has been involved behind the scenes with Steve Scruggs and that board. Dave back there was chairman of that LEDC. They know what I'm talking about. And Buddy has been just a super asset representing the Lakeland community from the government side in promoting Lakeland to get these folks to come. And I think Weldine, who came recently, is a great example. Firmenich, who moved their facilities, the Essence people moved their facilities from Pinellas County out to the airport. And we're going to do a major expansion in the economy. Kind of gave them a little bit of a whammy there, and they didn't do it. But even USF Polytechnic, he's been involved tremendously with that. We had a tough decision to make, as did the county commission, to contribute $5 million each to that project. It was tough, believe me. Those commissioners that are here with me and the mayor will tell you it was a tough thing to do, but we felt it was the right thing to do, and we did it. But we did it because we had the leadership of Buddy Fletcher. And I'm going to get into one that involved Jay Dennis in the First Baptist Church. It was a win-win. We had the mall where the church is now located. We had an owner who represented the investors from Michigan, a quality guy. I visited him at his home in Michigan, just a quality guy. But because Buddy had the insight and the information as the mayor, he I think, kind of hatched the idea that maybe First Baptist Church could acquire that property and develop it. And they eventually did. And I think the previous owner of the property benefited, and certainly First Baptist Church. Yes. But the win-win is that Trinity Presbyterian got their old property, and then the elementary school next door, McKeel Elementary, got that property. And those properties have been greatly enhanced and improved. And then you look at the mall property, I mean, it is a jewel and a gem in this city. And it's just because of the types of things that Buddy Fletcher has stood for over the years. And he and I haven't always agreed. But I'll tell you what, I respect him greatly. You know, I will say this, he's going to be a tough act to follow. Thank you.